Hi, my name is Sarah Schlomer, and I live with EDS and SPS. I have not done a video in quite a long time. Um, it was back in March that I experienced a spasm that dropped part of my gastrointestinal system on the left side of my body, which made it so that I had to have an emergency rectal removal surgery April 30th. Um, Now with stiff person syndrome, uh, it's not just one big attack for me. It's more like going through an earthquake. So every single day was more and more Braxton Hicks until I actually had my surgery, in which case I was extremely excited and happy. When I woke up, I just about did some flips. I but I didn't know the road of recovery that was ahead of me. Um, this is about the hardest surgery I've ever been through. Um, it's not for the lighthearted at all. Um, in fact, I got out of the hospital and my bladder wasn't working, and that was just flat out depressing because I felt like I took a step back. I have an inner stim, which makes my bladder work, and having my bladder not work again made me want to crawl into a hole and just bury myself. It was horrible. I had a Foley, and I wasn't sent catheters for a month after I got out of the hospital. So I was stuck waiting around. And within that time, I ended up with several infections. And then I had to go through 3 rounds of antibiotics, which took everything out of me. I honestly didn't think I'd make it, but I did. I I kept going. I kept trying. I was surprised that I was waking up every day because I was quite literally becoming that depressed. Everybody wanted me to get better, or contact them, and I threw myself into Netflix because I couldn't handle any of it. But I also was denied uh, help when it came to pain because I was told that I was already on the high side of an accidental overdose due to stiff person syndrome and being on so many benzodiazepines. In which case, my neurologist rolled his eyes and apologized, but he really couldn't do anything for me because it was the gastrointestinal doctor that needed to write the pain scripts. It needed to be okayed by my insurance, and everybody was just looking at each other, thinking that I was going to die um, from pain medications. So I had to get through it, and that's it. I mean, like, they just expected me to get through it. It wasn't, there wasn't any help. I just retracted into myself because I didn't know what else to do. I could have reached out to a lot of people and talked to them, um, but I didn't even know what to talk about, other than I was in so much pain, and at the same time, it was really hard to talk because I just hadn't. I had surgery on my intestines, so that affects the ability of you to even be able to talk. Um, so months went by, and slowly I've gotten better. Um, Obviously, I got out of the wheelchair and did the very slow movements with my foot, getting my legs up, then working on just standing up. But eventually I got there, and now I can walk around without needing a stick or anything. But um, this entire time I've been talking to you, I've been working in my garden, and I'm working on squash, which requires you to actually kind of beat up with a stick. Um, I honestly thought I'd die before I'd see any of this stuff come around. And I I was in just so much pain. I couldn't handle it. I really did. I thought I'd die before I saw any of this come to pass. I didn't think I'd be able to walk. Um, Again, I didn't think I'd be able to use my bladder. My body, everything that I was eating was just going right through me. And then after the infections, it kept going. So I dropped down to about 100 pounds, and I didn't feel sexy at all. Um, it was just so gross. Um, since then, I put a good 20 on, but it turned out to be um, one of my medications that I took for my heart was also affecting my gut, and I had no idea that it was speeding it up, and that's why I wasn't able to get the food that I needed. I was malnourished. So, I know it's been a long, hard road, and this year has completely flown by, but I want to just encourage everyone to try. Just try, because that's what really matters. And eventually you'll be able to look back and see the difference, whether it's good or bad. You'll be able to see a difference, and if you try, it's mostly good. I'm surprised I'm surprised at so many times that I've bounced back, and I'm surprised that I'm still here. I'm 37, so um, I really hope that this gives you encouragement. Um, I also want to warn you that if you ever have a ileostomy or a colostomy, it's a life-changing experience. You have to live by a schedule, or there are a lot of consequences, and you're already living by a schedule if you have stiff person syndrome. Um, Ehlers-Danlos can also give you quite a long list of medications in which you have to take at a certain time too. So I really want to thank you for listening to all of this, and I send out so much love, and I hope that none of you guys ever have to go through this, but if you do, just remember to try and rely on your friends when you can't rely on yourself. I'm really stubborn, and I want to be able to do things for myself. But sometimes you have to reach out, or you're going to crumble. You're going to crumble within yourself, and it's so hard. So let people in, and allow them to help, and just try. You'll see a big difference. And I send lots of love. Thank you for listening.